Hello and welcome to the Automotive Flux channel. So today we're just going to jump right into a land rush. We're continuing on our series of... We usually don't do buggies, do we? So let's go buggies and then Monster Energy just because... Well, I don't drink energy drinks, so I would not know. But we're continuing on our quest here to beat Dirt. This is Dirt 3. We're not going to be playing Dirt 1, but I would actually like to play it at some point. Thing is though, especially with those older games, is how do you get them when they're not on Steam? And I guess maybe they'd be on GOG, but some of those older games you'd actually have to get a physical copy of. Anyway, so I have a couple of things to talk about today. Usually I'm admitting that I didn't do my usual goal of playing something different in the week, but this week is different. I actually went back to two games that I have previously played quite a bit of, and I'm currently enjoying playing them again. So those games would be Prison Architect and Hearthstone. Now, let's start with Prison Architect. So this is just going crazy. So my brother actually introduced me to Prison Architect a long time ago. He bought it, I forgot when, but he bought it, and the game is DRM free, so he gave me a copy of it to play, and I played the heck out of it. That was just back when it was early access. It was pretty basic back then, but I really enjoyed it, and I just kind of stopped playing one day after putting in like 10-12 hours within 2 days type thing, and I haven't really played it since. Well, I picked it up a long time ago. I forgot how, but I think it was just a sale, and I thought, well, maybe I'll play that at some point. And I didn't really... Wow, this is this is rough here. I didn't really get to it. Like, I put in maybe 3 hours and then I stopped, but over the last couple of days I've gotten back up to 16 hours in the game, and I'm not done with it yet. They have added a lot of stuff and I like it a lot. Now, some of you may remember back when I was talking about Factorio, and that's because I really love Factorio. And you may also remember back when I've talked about Roller Coaster Tycoon and games like Planet Coaster and that. And that's because I love those games as well. I just really like management style games. I really like games where you create your own things. Whether it be a theme park, a dungeon like Dungeon Keeper or Dungeons, the newer versions. Or, like, did I say theme park? I mean like Planet Coaster, Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2. I actually have never played 3, believe it or not. But 1 and 2 are like the classic. I think 2 might be my favorite game of all time. Yeah. Prison Architect fits right into that crowd for me. And it's one of those games that I can just become addicted to. And that's kind of what happened to me with Factorio. I racked up 50 hours in... Actually, it was about half that. About 25 hours in a week, which is a lot of time for somebody who works and goes to school. So yeah, it was a little bit too much, to say the least. But I did manage to to launch the rocket, which was my goal, and I felt pretty proud of myself. I haven't gone back to Factorio since then because the game is like crack, and if I start playing it again, I'm gonna have to play it until I'm done and then go back to it. Oh yeah, another game in that list would be Stronghold Crusader. I really like Stronghold Crusader 1, and 2's okay, but yeah, 1 is the classic there. So, I was gonna say Planet Coaster, but it's Prison Architect. In Prison Architect, I have been playing through the campaign. Now, I wouldn't have thought a game like this would have a campaign, but it's actually good. I'm surprised. Like, the story links together well between the chapters, and it's basically a glorified tutorial where at the end they say, build your own prison, but you need to hit all these requirements. And so I've hit the end where I'm building my own prison and I'm trying to hit all the requirements, but it's been a lot of fun because I'm struggling a lot with money. And so I'm just like trying to hit the grant milestones so I can finally get the game's milestones as well. Prison Architect is actually very good. I've only experienced a couple of glitches so far in my current map. There's an interesting one where the game thinks that the staff room is a canteen, but I have no idea why. So it's constantly warning me that my staff room doesn't have any people that are directed to it to eat, but it shouldn't because it's a staff room. I actually looked up that error, and it seems that other people are having it as well, but it was supposed to be fixed, so I guess it's just not fixed. Not a big deal, though. The game has pretty simple graphics, but I think they work well. It means that it runs on pretty much any computer, except during a fire, it'll get extremely laggy. So, wow, that guy just really rolled off there. So for your own benefit, install sprinklers in your place. I haven't been able to do that yet because I can't afford it. But install sprinklers in your place, whoa, so that you don't have a fire, so that you won't have to experience the lag of a fire, because it is extremely laggy. Now, something that I found to be very funny, and one thing that I'm kind of confused about, is somehow I had like 60 something prisoners, and 54 of them had phones. 54 phones in a prison of 68 prisoners. I have no idea how that happened. I think that somehow there's a flaw in my security and they're getting phones, but that's one of the funniest things that I have experienced in the game. I just did a search. Like, basically I kind of cheated a little bit. Like, I took the grant where you have to find 10 drugs and take them out of the prison, obviously. And I just searched the entire place and obviously found 10 drugs, but I also found 54 phones, which is just absolutely insane. So if you happen to know how I can keep phones out of my prison, please help me with that, because it seems like every single prisoner has one, and I have no idea why. Like, the game is one of those ones where you could play extremely efficiently if you look it up, but it's also a game where I find it's more fun to experiment and figure things out, and that's what I do. Like, I've put in a decent amount of time between my previous play sessions and my current one, so I know sort of what is going on, but for example with the phones, I have no idea how they could be getting in. I've got metal detectors and everything, but it's just not picking it up, and somehow the phones are getting in. So yeah, just one of those things that I'll have to figure out at some point. It's not really a big deal. Like, the prison functions very well, which is always my goal. I'm not, like, you can build your prisons pretty much however you want to. Like, you can go for a very militaristic, like, high force, and then treat the prisoners like garbage. But I'm not playing it like that. I'm trying to treat them nice, trying to give them what they should have, and then hopefully nobody dies. Although, to be honest, a few people have died, just because I ended up getting one high-risk inmate. I don't know how, but I did. Somehow I left it open to that, and he got put in with a bunch of low-risk inmates, and you can imagine how that went. Because I wasn't set up properly to take high-risk inmates. So somehow in this race, we're pulling a 3rd place, and we only have one lap left to reclaim it. I don't know how this is happening, but somehow we're just not doing well enough to catch these leaders. I really need the guy at the front to roll right now. That would be pretty sick. The bumps in this buggy do not agree. Like, I've been having a lot of issues around the corners, and especially around those bumpy sections with this thing. It seems like even if I focus on it, we can't really... Well, we're having difficulties catching up at least. That's fine. Hopefully we can get first in this event. Not a big deal if we don't. I'm always down to do some more racing like this. Oh no. Okay, we got third. Yeah. Oh, we did win. Okay, that's good. So let's talk about game number 2. Again, for those of you who don't know, I have a ridiculous amount of time in Hearthstone. By ridiculous, I mean that was like the only thing I played for over a year. Oh my goodness, I really don't like when they stop the game to do these like audio flashback things. But yeah, oh, what is... Oh, let's see here. I think we usually go... What's on the end? Yeah, we'll just go with this forward. Sorry, my throat is a little bit clogged up. But, yeah, so I have a ridiculous amount of time in Hearthstone. Between my tablet, my computer, I put thousands of hours into the game, and I haven't really gotten much out of it, to be honest. I think overall, much like Smite, I've only spent like $25 in Hearthstone. I think I've spent $16 overall in Smite, which was just on the God Pack when it was on sale. But on, like when it comes to Hearthstone, I've only spent 25-ish, and that was on one arena run, and it was one... Oh yeah, I bought Naxxramas, but that's it. But I still have a ton of legendaries. I have pretty much every classic card. Like, just because I put so much time into the game, you kind of get that stuff. This is a really neat track, actually. I like it a lot. Ooh, come on, buddy. Keep it together. I'm not going to flash that back, but we are going to have a tough time catching back up to the leader here. So, oh no. Oh no. Alright. We made it out of that one alive, but barely. So, I've gone back to Hearthstone, but I've made some goals for myself in the game so that I don't lose direction and just play it randomly like I used to. Basically, it just became my default game, kind of like Smite is for me now, and that's how I have like over 1,200 hours in Smite, and I have easily that much in Hearthstone, probably more, because I had it on a tablet, and I used to play it in between classes, and sometimes during classes at school, which is unadvisable, by the way. Do not do that. Do not walk in my footsteps when it comes to being distracted in class or at school. So, wow, that was actually an incredible lap for us. So, let's just get around this corner. The goals that I've set for myself are this. I'm not going to download it on my computer, because when I'm on my computer I want to be playing other games. I've got so many games to play, and if I just default to Hearthstone every time, then I'm not going to have anywhere near as much fun playing the game, and I'll probably end up dropping it quicker, which is sort of how I've gotten back into Prison Architect, because it's a game that I only have on my computer. And whenever I sit down here and I want to play a game, it just makes sense to play games that are computer games, right? So back when I first started playing Hearthstone, I had an iPhone 4, and I was very disappointed to find out that the iPhone 4 was not compatible with Hearthstone for mobile. Now I have a 7, and I know that it is compatible, but I'm not going to get it on my phone either. just because that's too easy. Like I said before, I played the game a ridiculous amount. I would honestly say that I was kind of addicted to it. And I do not want to lose my voice or become addicted to it again. So I have a Shield tablet, which is just an NVIDIA Android tablet, and I put it on that, and that's the only place it's going to be. So whenever I want to play the game, I've got to play it on my tablet, which I usually carry with me at school, but I also I have it right next to me right now at home. Interestingly enough, I think that the game has gotten worse. I like the new inclusions that they've put in, like some of the new stuff that they've done. But a lot of the other mechanics that I've been seeing are just absolute cancer. And some of the cards that they nerfed in the time that I've not played, which has been well over a year. I think it said the last time I logged in was August 2015 or something. Okay, it must have been later than that. No, it was 2016. It was like really early 2016. Not August. Some one time early 2016 when I had stopped playing the game. I'll have to check and see when I uploaded a video of it to this channel, because that'll tell me when I stopped, or just give me a better ballpark. But yeah, it was a long time ago, and they've nerfed a serious amount of cards, and yeah, I was surprised by some of them. Like Innervate, for example, it only gives you 1 mana crystal instead of 2. I think that Druid is actually just garbage. Now, one of the things that I'm going to avoid, and I'm doing this again specifically to stay away from it becoming an addiction, but playing ranked is something that I don't want to do seriously. I'm purposefully playing crappy decks in ranked just because I don't want to get onto that grind of trying to get up to legend. I think the highest rank I ever got to was like 5, and then that was about it. Like, didn't bother to continue from there. But hold on a sec. Wow, that was interesting. Bad timing there as well. My neck was incredibly itchy. So let's just go back. So yeah, but what I mean when I say that the game is getting, or has gotten worse, is I just feel that the game is a lot quicker than it used to be. From the matches that I've played, it's won in like the first 5 turns most of the time. And I'm sure that that's how it was before, with like Face Hunter and Zoo Warlock and that. But it's so easy to win a game now. If you have enough early game pressure, then that's it. At least in the lower ranks that I've been playing. I have no idea what's meta anymore, but that's part of my thing. I'm avoiding looking at the Hearthstone subreddit. I'm avoiding looking at any Hearthstone sites to get decks. I want to create stuff for myself because obviously I find that to be the most fun. Just making and playing other people's decks, it's not as fun. It's not something that I should be doing if I want to just have fun in the game, and so that's what I'm avoiding. I like the new adventure, which is just like boss runs. I like that a lot, actually. I find it to be very creative. One of the things that sucks about it, though, is I've gotten some pretty decent decks, and then losing with them just really sucks. But obviously that's part of the game. One boss, though, that I found to be very unfair, and I don't remember when or what class I played against them. I think it was the final boss, like number 8, but they had a minion. I think it costed 1 or 0, but it was a 1/1, and then if it hit your hero, the game ended just instantly. And so I lost on turn 2 because I didn't have anything to deal with a 1-1 turn 1. Because I was playing a class that couldn't do damage instantly like that. And it was just totally frustrating. Like, that kind of thing shouldn't be in the game. But yeah, I like how the newest adventure, other than that, is free. I think it's the one with Death Knight or whatever. I think that is cool that it's free, but it's also incredibly difficult, so it makes sense. Like, if you want to beat it, you've got to get certain cards, and then you've got to pay to get them. When I started up the game for the first time, they greeted me with just a ton of stuff. They gave me a couple of legendaries from the new sets. They gave me tons of packs. I think I had 12 classic packs and like 7 or 8 of the new expansion packs. So like 20 packs just for free off the bat. I didn't get anything good out of it, but yeah, that was nice of them. I've never been like a whale type player. I'm not somebody who spends a ton of money in games, so I probably haven't had 20 packs in Hearthstone for a long time. So it was good to get that.
Amazing! What an intense race!
Either way, though, the feeling of the game has changed for me. I'm not playing it so much for the discovery of things. I'm just playing it because I find it fun to play like a priest who steals the opponent's cards and then plays them against them. Like, that's pretty much it. I'm over halfway to Golden Shaman in Ranked, and so, like, that was always my goal, to get it up to Golden. But I just don't care anymore. I just want to play it to have fun, and if I'm not having fun, then I have no commitment to it. I can just drop it instantly, and that's the way I want to play that game, so yeah. There's a new god in Smite. You might see him tomorrow, it might be next card game, it depends on what happens, and if Smite behaves itself, when I try to record. But yeah, we're almost done with this Global Legends thing, and then we'll be moving on to the open areas, and then we'll do all these mini circuits. It's gonna be good. Stick around.